Aloha, I'm Felicia Miller Johnson, and I conduct work life video interviews with career professionals that become an all intuitive conversation. Aloha, welcome to another episode of All Intuitive Conversation. I'm Felicia Miller Johnson. As an all intuitive executive and life coach, I encourage people to live smart and ascend to new levels of success. Today, I have the pleasure of reconnecting with a friend and former colleague. So let's bring her to the stage. Dr. Wendy. Aloha.
Aloha!
How are you?
I am extremely blessed and doing well. How are you?
I am doing well. I am doing well. So, for those of you that are watching, as I was saying, Wendy and I go back. Oh my gosh, how long has it been? I know it's been 10 plus years
Yes,
for
about 13.
wow, time is going by fast. Exactly. Well, we've definitely have been on some different journeys as we have met and connected. And I know one of the things that's coming up is since you and I have become friends was that you earned your doctorate. So,
I
for
did.
those of that are not aware of what type of doctor you are, tell us more about this.
I have a doctorate in educational leadership with emphasis in curriculum and instruction. And it was quite a journey, but I'm very glad that I took it, but I didn't take it until I was in my late 40s.
So, what sparked you to do that in your 40s?
I decided that I needed something more, and I didn't know exactly what that was. So I was torn between psychology and educational leadership. And since that was primarily my background that I had assembled, I decided to go in that direction.
Okay, so education.
Mhm.
So, tell excuse me, a little bit more about this journey. Like, was it challenging because of the classes? Um, like, what was your experience?
It was challenging, the coursework, of course, but it was also challenging because at the time I had a child who was trying to enter into high school.
Hmm.
I was married. I was trying to juggle those hats. We got laid off during the process at where we worked. So all of that combined with the fact that I was not a traditional student. I could have been the parent of anybody that was in the class with me. So I was juggling all of those emotions and then thinking, okay, do I really want to do this? Is this really going to be beneficial for me? I was in that, I guess you could say, quarter life crisis. I'm not going to say midlife, I'm going to say
Yes.
I was in that quarter life crisis of why didn't I do this earlier? What am I thinking? Don't I realize I need sleep?
Uh-huh.
Why, how am I going to use this when it's over? And then I realized I did it for me.
Mm, yes. Well, it's so interesting because the very first card that came out was talking about renewal.
Mhm.
And it sounds like, you went on this whole step to renew something in the life. And the bottom of the card, it says, reviewing the past with compassion and forgiveness. Time to head in a new direction. So, like I said, quarter life, times like, okay, I want to go in this new direction. It
Mhm.
says clarity on your life and purpose. In your heart, you know what to do.
Mhm.
So what I know that with this education and this degree, yeah, there's this degree, but I also know that you have what some might say is a passion project. And
Mhm.
so tell me where are you at with refilled glasses right now?
Oh, well, refill glasses is actually doing very well. Let me give you a little bit of background. Refill
Hmm.
glasses was created from journaling. I just sat down and I started writing. Where am I in my life?
Sat
What
down,
am I
step
doing?
out. Yes. You sat down. Keep going.
What am I doing with what I have? Where are my sticking points? Where are the conversations of encouraging myself versus just I should have, why didn't I could have, what happened, why am I not at this age? And when
Mm-hmm.
I finished journaling, I sat down at the table and I had a long conversation with myself because I felt like I was stuck. And I
Mm,
thought, if I feel stuck, what's the root? Why am I stuck? And it channeled back to me to forgiveness, unforgiveness, actually, unforgiveness for my own past transgressions that I had committed and for transgressions that were committed against me. And I was angry and I never did anything with that emotion. And so I was reading one day and I
mm.
saw a quote by Arthur Ashe that said, start where you are, use what you have, do what you can. And I felt like that just spoke to me completely.
Can we go back again to the very first part, which says reviewing the past with compassion and
Mhm,
forgiveness, time to
mhm.
head a new direction, clarity in your life,
Absolutely.
purpose in your heart. You know what to do, right?
Absolutely. Absolutely.
And then you talking about the queen when you sat down with thought process. This is what it says: brilliant, talented, independent, controlling. There is nothing you can't do. Know what you can do, nothing you can't do. Believe in yourself. Never underestimate your ability to make your dreams come true, which is back to the first one, right? The
Mhm,
need for balance between career and personal life.
mhm,
Now, what I remember, next question is coming through, is like I said, you have this career
mhm,
and you had all these things kind of going on in your life. You talked about being married, you talked about having your son and all those different things. So tell me today,
mhm.
now that you've got your education and you've journaled and you balance, I mean you done all those different things. How are you balancing your career and your work life
I have found my
today?
passion. I have connected my passion with what I believe is my God given purpose. I have found that all of the jobs and things that I was doing before was giving me an audience that I didn't know was an audience. I was
Mm,
listening to stories very similar to mine. I was talking to women who felt like I did, stuck. And so that led to another thing I read, which was the glass is not half empty and it's not half full. The glass is refillable. And with that, I started refill glasses
yes.
and we do workshops, we do webinars. I have online courses that deal with some of those emotions that can keep us as women stuck. The courses are for anyone, but definitely for women. And I have had such positive affirmation that I am moving in the steps where I was ordered by God to do.
So the next card, of course, that had came out is this young lady that's in a wheelchair. Now, some will have the perception that being in a wheelchair that means that someone is stuck, unable to move around as freely as one might think on their 2 feet. But
Mhm,
what I saw here is just symbolically of what that kind of means of how you're reaching your audience. So, like you have all these people here, but then notice what are they feeling is a cup, and at the
I
bottom
love it.
and at the bottom of this, it says, sharing your wealth with others less fortunate. Meaning, now that you're teaching other, women, encouraging them about the experience that you had, you took it and now you done made it to this whole program, this whole passionate, project
Mhm,
of yours. And so it's like that's awesome. So it's like you kind of like I said, you had this whole renewal. You sat
mhm,
down with yourself. Now you're helping other individuals in the future in your audience, right?
mhm.
We've had conversations in the past. What could potentially stand in your way?
Me.
Tell me
At
more.
this point, I feel like only me.
Mm-hmm.
because I'm over 50 at this point. So the sky is the limit. I've had all of my yesteryears and I've made all the wrong turns and I've corrected myself and gotten back on track. And now I understand the only thing that was ever in my way was me. So if I allow myself to block the energy and the gifts and the talents and the abilities, then of course I'll be stuck again, which is not somewhere I want to revisit.
So you got two that came out. The theme is grace. The trigger statement says, "What do they have that I don't?" The true statement is, "We're all special." It literally says at the bottom of the card, "Allow your inner critic to be silenced
Mhm,
as you find the perfection in yourself and those around you."
mhm.
Then the next one came up with the whole awaken theme, and it says, trigger statement, I'd be like, I don't know what to do. True statement, every moment is a new opportunity, which goes back to this whole renewal. And it says, take time today to engage your senses and create. The tension that has been dividing your head and heart is leaving. So, the next question is coming through, Wendy, is where or what is your vision for refill glasses 3 years from now?
3 years from now, I want refill glasses to be international because I believe that not only do we as American women struggle with figuring out where we are after we reach a certain age and whether or not we can revitalize that energy that we had before the kids, before the husband, before the job, before the stress. I think a lot of women have that issue or have that concern. And I think refill glasses can be a part of helping them understand it's not just me. And there's something almost comforting, like a hug, when you realize it's not just me. I wasn't crazy. I'm not behind in my life. I actually am where I'm supposed to be. And the next step is mine.
Okay. So I was thinking, I was like, okay, what's the energy? And for you, I felt as though that you would have an appreciation for this. So I went to my hip hop deck. And the
Okay.
sister that was aligning with you
Mhm.
is Lizzo.
Okay.
And Lizzo is about self love. And this
Mhm.
is what it says. While Lizzo's chart topping success felt like it happened overnight, the Houston bred artist started as a rapper nearly a decade before her first Grammy. When her single Truth Hurts captivated new heights, Lizzo shined as a beacon of body positivity, bitter truth, and boisterous sophistication. She isn't afraid of expressing herself in any form or fashion, yet has a personality and inner outer beauty that makes everyone want to be around her. The kind of power is intoxicating to some, but it seems like Lizzo knows how to microdose it with humility. Perhaps that's what makes her good as hell. If you took a DNA test, it would turn out that you are 100% fabulous inside and out, and it's time you recognize that. Let your Lizzo card serve as a sign that you should take a few minutes and focus on recharging with a spa day, an extra long workout, or even a Netflix binge. Remember, self care isn't some little reward you treat yourself with after narrowly avoiding a breakdown. It's hitting the pause button routinely to remind yourself of who you are so you can lean into that power. Sometimes you feel great until you got to be great. And that's the best time to hit refresh, which
Mhm.
renewal seems to continue to be running through your theme. So, with that, what do you know about Lizzo? Like, do
I
you?
don't really know a lot about Lizzo. I think Lizzo is a plus size model
Mhm.
and an artist. That's about all I know about Lizzo.
Okay. Yes. Plus size model. So, this is interesting. Um, being encouraged
Mhm,
to research, look up her song, good as hell. Um, with that there's something in that
mhm,
as a reminder that you are good as hell at
mhm.
what you do and being encouraged in that way. But you also got Janelle Monet.
We share a last name.
Well, there it is. Because I
There it
was
is.
like, oh, she's got two. And her concept with this one is fluidity.
Mm-hmm.
So the word that's kind of encouraging in that regard is that be fluid
Mm-hmm.
with what refill glass is going to be. Because what I'm seeing the concept for that is that it usually is holding some type of liquid, right? Which
Mm-hmm.
is fluid. I can see like this whole visual with that. So as you're progressing and thinking about what it is that you are going to be doing in the next 3 years, definitely just go like just with the flow and just know that everything is working out perfectly and divine for you.
Absolutely.
And continue to give yourself grace.
Absolutely. Absolutely.
Grace. All right.
Absolutely.
So, in the midst of all of that, and as
Mm-hmm.
you're going to be seeing you want to be international in the next 3 years, what support does Dr. Wendy need in this moment?
In this moment, I think I have a great support system, which is something that I underutilized before. And
Okay.
as my business grows, I have more people reaching out to me asking if I can speak at this particular function, or can they call me and we do a one on one personal coaching session,
Yes.
or I have a friend and I'm trying to get her to call you because I went to one of your sessions and you were very passionate, but you weren't insulting and you weren't demeaning and you weren't judgmental. And I think she could really benefit from that. So my support is coming to me without my doing a lot of looking for it. It's always been there. And my base is growing and I am just very grateful for that whole privilege.
Yes. Love that you are embracing that support.
Mhm.
Um Emmanuel's coming through saying there's a specific potential need that you have in the next 3 years.
Mhm. Let me think about that because, as I said, I've been just overwhelmed with support and connections, and I'm
Hmm.
just so grateful for all of that. So, if he's revealed it to you, he'll definitely reveal it to me, and we can be specific about what that need or support is.
So the next thing that came out, maybe as you're encouraging this one, I was like, okay, what is the psalm guidance and the blessing for Wendy? It
Mhm.
says the Lord watches over all who love him. Psalms 145:20.
Mhm.
Um, and love is is here at the end. So there's talking about their self-love and then love that you can put out. And you have those that are coming to you
Mhm.
and refilling and encouraging you in that way.
Mhm.
Um, and it's come up the waking. Every moment has a new opportunity. When you're coming within the next 3 years for your business, and you're talking about international,
Mhm.
it just seems like there's okay, how do I explain this? Just be open to the help that may come your way specifically, and continue to love on yourself, like the self love, because once you go to that next level, it is going to require like some new kind of work and all of that.
Mhm.
Um, but it's going to come, but it just may not look like what you may have thought it was going to look like
Mhm.
in the past for the help. And that's why I was asking for more clarity of like, well, what is it that you specifically are wanting? Because it's not going to be the same as it was.
What I'm used to.
Mhm. Yeah.
I'm always open to collaboration. And at this point in my life and in my journey, I understand that fluidity is critical. Being
Yeah.
stagnant keeps you stuck. So you have to be open to new opportunities and new possibilities. I mean, we're doing this. This is an all intuitive conversation that I would have never thought we would be doing 2 years ago. So it's
Well,
just a matter of I'm open. I'm very open to, as I
yeah.
said, collaboration and support however it shows up. I don't have a package that I'm actually looking for. So it
Yeah.
could surprise me. The FedEx man could drop off support to me and I'd be okay.
What I love that is that because like you said, it the fact that we go back, like I said, 13 plus years, and there's
Mhm,
this whole thing of how when you first meet somebody and they could be doing something different, you know, like loud, but you still kind of remember like what they did before.
mhm,
But the fact that our relationship has grown and developed into embrace the new, you know, like I said, now it's Dr. Wendy and it's, you know, all intuitive for Felicia. So it is that's one of the things that I appreciate about our connection and relationship. And for y'all, Wendy and I are not talking every day. Okay. We are not um it's one of those when you connect with someone and you just love and being in their present at that moment. And it
mhm,
seems like with um, Dr. Winnie and I, when we come together, like it's just at the right time and the right moment to just support each other. And
mhm.
so I think I love that about our relationship. There's no pretense, there's no judgment, which is really freeing in that regard.
Mhm.
And so as you continue to grow and you become international and your glasses is becomes full, like I said, there's going to be some help and support that's not going to look like what you know it was in the past, but continue to be fluid, continue to be open, and continue to love on yourself and appreciate that. So,
Absolutely.
all
Absolutely.
right.
We see
So
you.
for you're welcome. So for those that want to connect with you and be like, yes, I need to know more from Dr. Wendy here. Where can they reach you?
They can reach me either via my website, which is refilledglasses.com, or they can give me a call, which is 501 391 7200, or you can email me. But on my website, you will see different products and services that I offer.
Yes.
And I thought about this today and I thought, I have courses out there. So if you go out and you take a look at the courses, you can actually use AWE 25 and receive 25% discount just because you listen to this and you listen to us.
Oh, look at that. Isn't that
Yeah,
amazing? Love
absolutely.
that. Could you think I love that? All right. Well, Wendy, it has been a pleasure connecting with you. Thank you for being open to this all intuitive conversation. Thank you for those that are watched live and or on the recording. And ultimately, we're doing all this as we connect with each other and learn more with the hopes of encouraging one another to live smart and ascend to new levels of success. Until we meet next week, this
Uh,
has been an all intuitive conversation.